Hello, welcome to my live. Today is Friday, the 9th of January, and it's just 6 p.m. UK time. It's the time I always start my live streams every Wednesdays and Fridays here on YouTube. And so, for those who don't know me yet, I'm a therapist and coach, and I use my free time to come here twice a week, every week, to take questions and discuss and talk about anything to do with mental health, therapy, psychology, human behavior, emotional intelligence, mindset, mindfulness, all of those things. So if you have any questions, anything you'd like to know about anything at all, just ask, and I do my best to give you some actionable suggestions, and as specific as I can as well. And so the way that I start my live, because it's always a bit slow to get started with, is by reading and commenting on my own post. I am both on YouTube and TikTok. And so the first post that I put out today goes like this. Your nervous system is meant to react to your environment. And so when people talk about healing the nervous system, it is not actually the nervous system that needs to be healed. It is our perception of the environment that needs to be upgraded. In other words, you don't fix your nervous system, you fix your belief system. And once your subconscious mind stops telling your nervous system that you are constantly under attack, then it will start to relax. The nervous system just reacts to what it perceives is either safe or not. That's all there is. And so something that I thought some of you may find interesting or even useful. Next post. The problem is not what they think of you, but what you think of them, or even just the fact that you are thinking about them. What we don't realize is that whatever people think of us has no power over us. What they do may, but what we think don't. And so if we can realize this, we can choose to stop thinking about them and choose to think about something else. And just like that, bang, we feel better instantly. Next post. You are not waiting for the right moment. You are waiting to feel safe. And this is another aspect of us we don't realize enough, is that everything about our life is down to one thing. Are we safe? So again, that would be especially relevant to those of us who have had trauma, unhealed wounds, baggage, conditions of any sort. And so it's not that we're waiting for all the stars to be aligned, it's that we just don't feel safe. The solution to this is to realize that nothing will ever be perfect, and we don't want things to be perfect. We want to realize that things as they are, and we are good enough to deal with those things as they are and as we are, and we'll come up with whatever is missing in the moment as we're walking that path. Wilma, hello. Hello, Wilma. Jolene, hello, hope you are well. I'm very well indeed. How about you? Is there anything you'd like me to address today? In the meantime, unless and until I have questions, I will keep on reading my post. Here's the next one. People are always showing you who they really are. You are just conditioned to accept what feels familiar. You're conditioned to see what you want to see. And this is pretty much how our subconscious mind works. Unless and until we've done some work on ourselves, we don't realize that we all have subconscious biases that get us to attract and allow the same sort of people that we had in the past, even and especially if they were hurtful, untrustworthy, or manipulative. Because our mind needs a closure in order to be able to move on. And so unless we have a closure of something that happened in the past, we're going to attract the same sort of people in a bid to recreate that past and fix the problem from that past with those new people in our lives. But because we're still the same person emotionally dealing with situations, then we don't change anything. We're just repeating the past with different protagonists that have the same traits as our parents. Pumpkin Puff. Hi Didi, how are you today? I'm very well indeed. I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about our last discussion on Wednesday, and I feel that I've been a little bit harsh on you, and I want to apologize for this. I do my best to be zen, but every now and then I'm a human being, and depending on my physical state, if I'm a bit under the weather or this or that, I can be a little bit more human and a little bit less therapist. And so I feel that last time I was a little bit hard on yourself, and I hope that I did not hurt your feelings in any way, because that would be the last thing that I would want to do, especially with someone who has BPD. I was aware that I was a little bit, there were probably some old wounds within me that have been pressed on, and so I had to react to it, instead of extending my capacities and power of compassion. And so, yeah, we can talk more about you if you want. How has it been since Wednesday with your husband? Is it your husband or your partner? How must I call the person that you live with? Seattle Farah. I am currently navigating the role of parent and caregivers to my in-laws while raising my 6 and 8 years old. Okay. How do I remember to find joy for myself? I love your channel and I am new subscriber and I appreciate everything you do. Fantastic. Let's talk about this. So you're a parent to your kids, 6 and 8 years old, and you're a caregiver to your in-law, and you want to find joy for yourself. It's about realizing that you have a limited amount of time, energy, and focus every day. So it's like you choosing to distribute your time, your energy, and your focus in a way that will cater all of your goals in order of priority. And so you want to remind yourself of what is important, what you need to do for everyone to be happy, but you must include yourself in that list. It's not just about your children and your in-laws that you are caring about. You are part of it. And if anything, you should come first, because we can only give what we own, what we have. If you feel that you are lacking of something, if you are burnt out, if you are overwhelmed, there will only be so much that you can give. And so that's why self-care is so important, first for self, but also even if we're mainly concerned by how we impact others. So for me to address that subject, I would need to know a bit more about yourself. What do you love doing? Do you spend time for yourself? In reality, you can absolutely look after your kids and your in-laws and yourself without burning out. If you burn out, it's only because you believe that it's not enough, it's not good enough. There's an element of you that is perfectionist. You need to do more for your kids. You need to do more for your in-laws. And so you come after everyone because also you believe, there's a part of you that believes that you are not as important as them. And so just remember to bring yourself into the mix at the top of the list and realize that what you give is enough. Whatever you do for others is enough. You don't have to give everything. You don't have to sacrifice yourself. A lot of us, we believe that the only goodness is only good if it's a sacrifice. It's born from Judeo-Christian's values, and many of us still have this. You must sacrifice yourself, otherwise it's not worth anything. It's not true. We can absolutely spend some time and energy on our kids and our in-laws and our work and ourselves without having to burn out. It's about reminding yourself, okay, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little break in between, a little bit of music, dancing, doing something that makes me happy, and then get back to it. And just like that, your day, you need to learn how to restructure your day and learn how to basically let go of that habit of, it's got to be better, it's not enough, I've got to be perfect. An example that I can give you is some of my friends. I can think about one of my friends who has a lot on his plate, and his wife, and they are going through a lot, and they have a lot of kids, and they want to do all those things that everyone wants to do. But they realize that we have a limited amount of energy and time. They have different priorities to address. And so their house is very messy. But it's okay, they don't care because they're still happy. For them, this is not as important, this is secondary, and we can always do this some of the time, but for them, the main requirement, the basics are sorted. And then they have other priorities, and at some point they'll be able to create some systems that will allow them to have all the other stuff added onto their list of daily achievements. But yeah, does that answer your question? Do you want me to tell me more about yourself, please? Seattle Farah? Pumpkin Puff. Oh no, I didn't think you were being harsh at all. Okay, thank you. But again, we can talk about it more because You were saying how it was difficult for you with BPD to be with someone who didn't consider your BPD serious enough to remember that you have BPD, right? And this is very important. But it goes both ways. I think the things that I told you were overall the sort of things that I would recommend anyway. So basically, accept that this is how it goes, but also accept that there's no right or wrong. If you really love someone, if you really feel that there's something about it, don't try to change people, and accept that this is who you are and this is who they are, and you're doing both your best to make it happen one day at a time. I hope it makes sense. Seattle Farah, including myself in my plans definitely hits hard. So this is something you want to do. Sometimes we just don't realize something. We've done something for such a long time. We have such a strong sense of self that we just are on automatic pilot. And we suffer from that because all we need to do is to be reminded, maybe that doesn't work. We did a little upgrade. So just add yourself into the mix. Remind yourself that the energy comes from you before you can give it to others. So you need to have enough for everyone, starting with and for yourself. Rayan W2. I'm going to hide user on this channel. Let's forget about that person. We have all sorts of different people online, and there's a lot of kids who end up on my live streams, or people who are just bored and want to troll. So we're going to just ignore and move on. So whatever you've written, I forgot your name already because you are no longer on my screen. All of your comments are gone. So just to save your time and your energy, stop putting any more comment because no one sees them a part of you. And I wish you well. I wish you to find peace and maybe either find peace if you are frustrated, or maybe to grow up and realize that there's a place and a time for everything, and this is not one of them for your sort of comment. Seattle Fire. I used to be a musician, 3-4 rehearsals a week. Okay, that sounds good. Exercise and creativity all wrapped together. The last few years have made that difficult. Okay, so you had something, so you know how to do those things. You have a lot of things already that you know are good for you. So why are those last few years difficult? Tell me about it, please. When things are difficult, it's because we're not able to do things exactly as we used to do them or like we would like to do them. It's not perfect enough, but maybe there are ways around. Maybe you can learn how to be more agile and flexible in how you're going to organize those things. Maybe you don't need to do the whole thing. You don't need to do all of those rehearsals. Maybe you can just play, sing every now and then in whatever capacity is good for you, and it is still something. We can talk about this. If you could tell me why it has been hard the last few years, that would help, please. Pumpkin Puff, I appreciate all the input you give me and believed that I needed the advice you gave me. Thank you. I failed you though, Didi. You didn't fail me. I had a rough split yesterday with my husband. You never fail me, and you never fail anyone. You are going through your journey, you are learning, you are growing, you're always doing your best. You never fail anyone. You've got to stop doing this. This is the one you are failing yourself when you think that you are failing anyone. Let's put it like that. So this is only one truth that I would like you to consider. The very one thing that is holding you back, and this goes for everything, not just BPD, but also any conditions that we have. If you want to heal from anything at all, we must be kind to ourselves. It starts with self-compassion. If you tell yourself, I failed you, I failed myself, I'm terrible, I'm not good enough, what you're going to do, you're going to put your own nervous system under stress. Your own nervous system is going to feel threatened by yourself. So now it's going to tighten up, it's going to be tense. It's going to prevent you to relax and open your mind and let go of the emotions and the energy and all of those things that you need to do in order to heal. So you're doing the opposite of what you should be doing. And it's not your fault. We all do this. But now that you know, remind yourself, be kind to yourself. You'd never fail me. You never will ever fail me in a million years. You can only fail yourself every time you're being unkind to yourself. Because in those moments, you're becoming the bullies that you suffered from in your own childhood. You are repeating the past. You're becoming your parents, your teachers, your whoever bullies you had. You are doing their work. You're working for them through your own shame, through your own negative self-talk, through your own saying that you have failed me or anyone. Stop this. Remind yourself of this, remind yourself that you're doing well, and it's all good, okay? I had a rough split yesterday with my husband. Let me explain if that's okay. Of course, please. Please let me know what happened. Seattle Farah. I've been trying to find more time to sing and play piano for myself lately, and certainly let them fall by the wayside. So it's a little bit convoluted the way it's been put together, but I understand that you've been trying to play more lately, right? So that's a good thing. That person that I've deleted have put a lot of messages because I have a lot of notification, but I have nothing, not a clue of what they said. The wonders of social media. Anyway, Tanner8653 said hi. Hello, Tanner. Song OQ. I personally have 50 kids. Okay. Oh, let's see where that leads us. But remember, this is a place that I create for mental health. And so anyone who is struggling, there's a place and a time for everything. I love humor, but not here. I'm trying to be helpful to people who need some help, so please be kind. Otherwise, you're not going to stay here. Seattle Farah. Lol, my house is messy. I kind of love seeing the little pictures drawn on the walls in my kiddo's closet. Okay, there you go. I know I'm gonna miss this when I'm very old. Thank you, Didi. Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. So you already understand what I'm talking about, right? Perfectionism is a huge problem for so many of us. Perfectionism is born from not enough-ness. We're being told that we're not worthy, we're not enough as we are. We need to do certain things in order to prove the world, society, God, our parents, or ourselves that we're enough, and this is not true. Not true at all. Spark algorithm. Hey, even more tattoos. Get more tattoos, please. Cover your entire neck and face. Looks cool. I'm glad that you appreciate tattoos. And I'm not sure that you should tell people to have more tattoos. I think it's a personal thing, right? If you like tattoos, have yourself some, right? And I'm glad that you appreciate mine. And I'm not going to continue that thread. I'm not sure that there's anything else to add to it. Kura Klipov, are you a psychologist? No, I am not a psychologist. I am not a psychotherapist. I am not a doctor. I am an RTT therapist. So I have a very specific job description, and it's part of the mental health profession army. But my specific title is RTT therapist, not psychologist. However, because I help people with mental and emotional disorders, it's very important for me to learn about the mind. So that has gotten me to have a good knowledge and understanding and experience of people, because I've been doing it for like, I don't know, 8, 9 years now. And also because I have ADHD, I obsess over those things. So I'm constantly exploring further understanding of the human condition in order to be better at helping people. So there you go. Pumpkin Puff. I tried to apply boundaries yesterday, but I felt like I was trying to swim in lava. I stayed very firm. He saw it as me threading our marriage, and that he responded best to my sadness, not my anger. So what does that mean? Let me try to understand. I'm sure there's going to be some more, but let me try to understand this a bit. You try to... So first thing, I tried to apply boundaries yesterday. To me, it's how do you say, misnomer, something like that. You can't try. You either set a boundary or you don't. It's that simple. So for me, you didn't. You thought about it, you wanted to, but you didn't set a boundary, right? I stayed very firm. I saw it as me threading our marriage. So basically, you tried, but you couldn't because you were overwhelmed. Is that correct? And that he responds best to my sadness, not my anger. So basically, you became sad instead of becoming angry. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully, you get me some more details so that I can understand the situation. Kura Klipov, can you help me? I would love to help you. Ask me anything, and if it's genuine, I'll do my best. Seattle Farah, thank you. Thank you, Seattle. I'm going to call you Seattle. What happened the last few years? I was a full-time musician. I met the love of my life and had 2 children. I love them dearly, and I'm finally getting time back. Doing things for me feels strange. All right, okay. So it's just about getting used to some odd stuff again, right? You're not in a bad place. You're not overwhelmed by stress, anxiety, existential questions, those sort of things, or are you? I love them dearly, and I'm finally, so you seem to be in a good place as far as your relationship is concerned with your partner and with your kids. I love them dearly, and I'm finally getting time back. Okay, doing things for me feels strange. Learn how to do it again. So if it feels strange, it's only because maybe you haven't done it for a while, or maybe because you feel that you should do more. So we talked about perfectionism. Maybe you feel that as a mother, I should be doing more. As a spouse, I should be doing more for my in-laws. No, you don't have to do anything more. You are who you are. People love you and accept you and choose you for who you are, not for what you do. And so accept that what I do is enough, and that's it. If you have any thoughts that are problematic, share those thoughts with us, please, and I can address those thoughts. Remy Kemp, do you think cigarettes are healthy? No, they're not healthy. I think it's pretty much universal that everyone understands that both cigarettes but also vaping are terrible for your health. There's nothing good about it. It's no longer cool even. When I was younger, it was cool to have a cigarette. I used to smoke myself. All the Hollywood stars, James Dean, Marilyn Monroe, those people would have a cigarette in their mouth. So because of that, everyone ended up smoking. But it's a terrible habit. Yeah, it's one of those things that society shouldn't have allowed because it's hurting people. But sadly, we're finding out more and more. We're realizing that society as a whole is not designed for our health or our well-being or happiness. It's designed to exploit us, to manipulate us, to use us, to get us to buy some stuff, and it doesn't care about our health. And so, not just food, but cigarettes, but also everything else. All the news, the information that you get, all of those things is all we're finding out now more than ever. It's all a bunch of lies and manipulation tactics, mental conditioning. James Denman, you are such a strong role model for me that I decided to. James, I'm not going to give you the pleasure to finish that terrible comment. I'm just going to move you. I'm going to forget about you. Okay. So basically, James did some body shaming. He tried to make me feel bad about something about my appearance, but we're just going to dismiss it because I can talk about body shaming, but I don't want to talk about that every single time someone comes with that, because otherwise that'll be a subject conversation every week. And I think that there are much better things to talk about, not just that. It's important to teach people to stop doing this, but also understand that there's a lot of kids. So that person could be 10 years old as far as I'm concerned. So maybe there's no need for me to try to talk about something out of a comment generated by some random kids. Pumpkin Puff, it took hours of arguing. We eventually did reach an understanding. Okay, he finally understood why I was so upset and what he indeed did not consider my conditions and how I would feel from his actions. So it's good. No, it took hours of arguing. So why do you say that you tried to set boundaries, but somehow it didn't work? Maybe it worked. If you set boundaries, something came out of it. You had an argument based on your terms, because he finally understood why you were so upset and that he indeed didn't consider your condition and how you would feel from his action. So yes, I think there's some success in that. Or am I missing something? Seattle, you've given me a healthy reminder about the dangers of perfectionism. Really appreciate your time today. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I am Taylor Magar. I like your neck tattoo. All right, thank you. Mad General, toasted bread is too long to say, so people say toast. But if I have the time to say toasted bread, I do it because I think it's warm and proper. Good on you. Toasted bread. Very nice. Good on you. Stray Kids. Hey, someone else. So a lot of silly comments. We're just going to remove them and we're going to ignore them. Racist comment this time. A lot of people don't realize that they're saying some things that are very offensive and racist because they don't associate their words with their sense of self. So here's maybe something that I can say about this just now because of that comment that I didn't read. But very often we say things that are very, very racist. And people are saying, I'm not racist, it's just a joke. And what we don't realize is that racism is not a sense of self. It's not a sense of personality. It's an action. It's a word. It's a behavior. So what it means is that we don't get to decide whether we're racist or not. Our actions speak for ourselves. So I hope it makes sense. Now, the beautiful thing about it is that we can change this. So if we say anything that are racist, and I used to be like that. I grew up in a time where everyone was racist, everyone was sexist, everyone was ableist, everyone was homophobic. And so I was just like everyone else. I didn't realize this. But at some point we may realize, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be one of the better people and move on from that old, horrible, nasty mentality from the people from the past. Let's move on. There's another one with a very dodgy name. I'm going to block that. Okay, we have a lot of trolls today, but it's okay because I can get rid of them. I like to believe faster than they can come onto my live streams. So for now, let's forget about them. Move on to the next one. Pumpkin Puff. My version of giving a boundary was telling him that if he cares about our marriage, he will consider how his actions affect me. I won't continue to beg and remind him to think of me or care. But what is the boundary? What is the thing that you will do if he doesn't comply? That's the boundary. Remember, the boundaries are not about you telling what you don't like. It's telling him, if you keep doing this, I will do that. What will you do? That's the boundary. Otherwise, you're not setting a boundary. You're just sharing how you feel about a situation. When you say, my version of boundary is telling him that if he cares about our marriage, he will consider, it's not a boundary, you're just telling him what you would like him to do. A boundary is an ultimatum. That's the difference. Seattle, my struggle is rooted in the people pleaser mentality. Telling my kids to ignore me so I can play music is like putting chocolate in front of them and telling them it's for me. You can change your perspective on that. So everything is a matter of perspective. So you can maybe think about doing some music. How is it? Just 1 second, please. Telling my kids to ignore me so I can play music is like putting chocolate. I don't understand this. I don't understand why there is, on one hand, playing music, and on the other hand, the happiness of your kids. Can you find a way to connect them together? What is the dichotomy? Could you explain this for me, please? Person with a question. Hi, Didi. Nice to catch you on live again. Thank you. Nice to have you here. Joe the boy. Why do therapists assume our suffering insecurities is from the past? Can anxiety and some trauma be used as an excuse to avoid trying in life, avoid failure, rejection, example, cheating, cause of trauma? Because of education, because of understanding the mind. If we understand how the mind functions, we understand, and this is my job, to explain, to teach, to educate people how it works. We don't assume this is how the mind works. We don't assume it's a science, but it's backed up more and more so every day thanks to neuroscience. Now with the machines that can see through the brain, we can see exactly what is happening when we are doing certain things. And so it's not an assumption at all. It's a science. Now, the science that we have about understanding the mind is very young. I get it, and I agree with you. It's only in the last 25 years that we have been able to see what is really happening and to understand things that are efficient, that are true, that are helpful, as opposed to just coming up with some BS assumption like anyone else before, right? Even in the 1990s, up to then, people were just assuming stuff. I totally get it. I agree with that. However, now we know, we understand. And so it's about science. It's not assumption. And so suffering insecurities are all from the past because we have a sense of self that will create some filters that will give us a flavor of reality. There's no such thing as one universal fixed reality. There's only the reality that we experience through those filters, and those filters have been put together by us through our childhood, right? And so if you, for instance, you say, can anxiety and trauma be used as an excuse to avoid trying in life? Avoid trying. What does it mean, avoid trying? Your filters, the problems that you have probably is that I must try hard. I can't be weak. I must be strong. I must be a man or whoever is it Joe the boy. Okay, Joe the boy. So I'm going to assume that you see yourself as a guy, right? I must be strong. I must try harder. Instead of, oh, I'm depressed. I'm weak because I'm not trying harder. This comes from your own filter. This is what we call toxic masculinity. Because of a patriarchal system, probably your parents, your dad must have been very harsh on you, maybe your teachers, the system itself. And you don't realize this is your normality. All of our filters are our normality. Now, the very, very insidious thing about it is that those filters, which we call subconscious belief, they're literally what we see the reality through. So what it means is that this is a belief, right? I must be strong. I must never be weak. I must never be vulnerable. And this is another filter. I can be vulnerable. I can be compassionate. And what we don't realize is that because of those filters, we're going to have a different reality. But unless we realize that there is a filter, we only experience the experience. We don't have the awareness that there is a filter. And this is what therapy, this is what healing, this is what self-awareness is all about. It's about understanding those aspects of ourselves. Now, it's not your fault. It's no one's fault. We don't know what we don't know. We only know what we know. And this is precisely what I'm doing here. I didn't know those things. I had to learn them along the way. And then I realized that it was very special and important and life-changing to know those things. And so I studied more. I worked on finding ways to have some reach to be able to help people. And so eventually this is what I'm doing. But we are not assuming at all. It's all, there may be some people who assume, there may be some people who are making stuff up because social media, because it's not regulated as a profession. And so there are all sort of stuff going on. But what I see here is that you have a problem of maybe you sound like a lot of people from the past, or people who've been impacted by them, who believe that we must try harder, you must be tougher, as opposed to don't be such a wuss, sort of things. And this is actually a real problem. Because of that, twice as many men compared to women unalive themselves every year, because they are trying so hard to be strong and brave and successful all the time, and they never seek help, they never show who they really are, they never express themselves, and so because of that, they suffer. And they don't only add up, for many of them, unaliving themselves, but also they make everyone's life much harder because of that. Boys don't cry, don't be such a sissy, sort of things. Or that they're avoiding to try hard in life. This to me is as unkind and as toxic as it comes. And you don't mean that. It's not your fault. I used to be terribly toxic to people as well. But this is my work. This is what I'm trying to do. I want to change this society. I want to get people to open their eyes and realize that it doesn't have to be harsh, sacrifice, that. Life can be good. It can be kind. It can be easy, or at least easier. Right? Joe the boy. Summit Pava. I agree, brother. Thank you, Summit. Pava Faneni. Seattle Fire. Appreciate all your time today. I'm glad you appreciate. Thank you so much. Pumpkin Puff. He didn't like how I was given order, and I'm not giving him leniency. He said needs help to learn to be considerate of me, of that he hopes he remembers, which made me sad and angry again. I told him we won't be together if he does it again. Okay, so here's the ultimatum. Okay, so in that case, you have set a boundary. Okay, so that's the boundary. Now it's a tricky one because it's going to happen again. So are you willing to do this? Are you really ready for that? Or could that be a little bit maybe too harsh? Maybe instead of telling him we won't be together, tell him, you know what, we're working on it together, but if you don't show me that you're trying to meet me in between enough, then I will have to have some time away from you because that will upset me, right? It's really about letting go of the idea that someone is doing right and someone is doing wrong. We are all doing our best, but we also have our needs. So we need to put those two things together. I need to be happy, you need to be happy, we need to find a common ground, we need to create Switzerland between the two of us. So how are we going to make this to happen? However, if you don't respect my boundaries, it's going to hurt me. So it's not that I'm punishing you, is that it's going to be too much of me on me. So if you love me, you understand that I will need to withdraw myself from you for whatever time, but you decide to do this. Seattle Fire, clarification, dichotomy. They want time with dad and me, and when I sing, I'm animated and loud. They hear this and either ask me to be quiet or jump right into the piano playing, and I feel conflicted. Okay, so it's for you to create a better situation. Sometime we don't have the physical capacities to do things, right? So I understand this. I used to be a musician myself, and we need to have a certain physical arrangement to be able to do this. We need to have a room that we can make noise. Otherwise, if we live with other people, it's going to be problematic. So as long as you're living with them, it's going to be problematic. And so what you need to do is to find ways to maybe find a place where you can go once a week and that you can do it for yourself. And the rest of the time, maybe you can bring the music in, but it's not something that you do for you, but for the whole of your family. Maybe you can teach your kids to play and sing with you. That's a great thing to do. Teach them how to do things. Do this as an extra curriculum to connect and bond with them and share that love of music that you have with them, as opposed to being selfish doing the music and them being left aside. It doesn't have to be like that. However, when it comes to your own music, you can do this, but you may have to be patient. You may have to create some strategies together so that you have a place where you can go and do your stuff, right? I understand that sometimes we're limited by our reality. So what you need to do is to come up with some ideas and a strategy to make this happen, even if it's a little bit, even if it's once a week. Can you find a place, a time where you can be on your own doing your stuff? And then the rest of the time you're with them, and you can still play piano with them, get them to dance and sing, and create your own super band. I see a lot of people on YouTube who have a family. Like you can see that dad always wanted to have a band, and then suddenly you've got the two sons on the drum and the bass, and you get the little girl dancing and singing. She's tiny and she's having great fun. So there are a lot of ways around this. But again, it's about that idea of perfectionism, and I get it. It's only good if I can do this. And it's true that if you want to do the things that you used to do, you need to find a way to create that environment for you. You need to create that schedule, that system for you. And so think about doing this and appreciate whatever you can do. And the rest of the time, as I said, try to incorporate your whole family all together, right? Does it help? A pumpkin puff. It's been years of me begging him. So begging doesn't work. You don't beg. You just say something. This is the opposite of boundaries. Begging is, please. Boundaries is do this or the door, right? But you need to be able to take the actions that you are saying. If you just say, now it's not a boundary, it's just you expressing how you feel and still allowing for that person to walk all over you. It only works if you can apply the thing that you said you would say, you would do. I was so fed up, but because I gave an actual boundary, he didn't like that. I'm done giving him chances to continue this cycle. So where are we at? Are you done? Or do you want to stay? Because if I just read that, you said, I am done. And I don't believe that you're done. Just based on the last time we spoke, which is Wednesday, it seems that you still want this to go on, right? You still see it, the goodness in your relationship, right? So you're not done. You're just trying to understand how to make it better, right? Or am I wrong? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Seattle, I want to play music because it feels like healing my soul from the inside out. But when they interrupt, it feels like they interrupted my healing. So they've avoided playing music for a time too. It's not, so here's the thing. Whatever your kids do, it's got nothing to do with you. They do things because it's their thing to do. They're not trying to interrupt your healing. They're not trying to shatter your dreams. They're not trying to hold you back. They're not trying to limit you in any way. They are just doing their things because they are kids. They don't have any agenda, right? But if we think that, we're going to be annoyed. Why are they all trying to sabotage my project? You as an adult, you as a parent, you as someone who is a creative, a creator, is for you to find ways, systems to make these things happen to you. But the most important thing is not to take things personally. Whatever your husband, whatever your kids say, It's not about you, it's about them. They're just expressing themselves. And we all have preferences, we all have needs. And so it's for you to find strategies to see the bigger picture and remember, what are my priorities? How can I organize myself accordingly? And over time, you may be able to create a space and a time for you to do your music in the way you want it to do it. I understand, if you're into the creative process, you don't want anyone around you, unless they are part of the process. I get it, I get it. Seattle, avoid the interruptions becoming arguments. So you can't do this. They're kids. So you can choose to either, in that moment, be the mom or be the creator. So again, as I said, it doesn't have to be all or nothing as far as your whole life is concerned. But you need to know when to do what. What are your limitations within each configuration? And it's for you to upgrade your systems and create a lifestyle where you can eventually incorporate more of the things that you want to do more of. But it doesn't have to be. It's not about it's not binary. It's not me or them. It's about you incorporating everything that you have and growing around it. Right? There's no binary dichotomy. It's more about, okay, this is part of my life. I want this. I want my kids. I want my husband. I want my in-laws. I want my music as well. How am I going to grow around it? So it's about growth, not this or that. I hope it makes sense. Van Mena said, hi, hello, Pumpkin Puff. He told me that I would need to forgive myself and him for us to move on. Which he's right about, because I'm really bad at forgiving people. Okay, it's a skill. So yes, you have BPD. So typically, if you have BPD, it's going to be impossible for you to forgive people as long as you are in that state. You can forgive them after. Remember, when you are in a state of anger, adverse reaction, fear, anxiety, stress, because of your BPD or anyone else, really, in that moment, you are not yourself. You are not the adult, grown-up version of yourself. You are the child that you were in the past. And you're reacting emotionally in the same way you used to react back then, because no one has taught you how to react any differently yet. So in that moment, you need to accept, in that moment, you can't forgive. You're in a state of alert. You're in a state of survival. I need to survive. I can't allow for anyone to abandon me. So you cannot forgive. It's not possible. In that state, accept that this is what you are. Do some breathing exercise. Do some mindfulness exercise. Do some walking. Do anything that will allow you to move from that state back to that state. And then once you are back in that state, and only then can you think clearly. And can you think, maybe I can see the bigger picture. And if I can appreciate that, indeed, he was not trying to ruin my existence. He just did it because of X, Y, Z. We're all human. We're all doing our best. And so maybe I can forgive him. But only when you're in that state. Okay? But don't tell yourself, I'm really bad at forgiving people. It's not true. It's only when you are in a certain mental state that you can forgive them. I'm sure that there are some states where you can forgive them. They may not be your most common state, but I'm sure that there are states where you can. So it's about you finding out those states, and it's about you being able to do whatever your state allows you to do in that moment. We have different parts. And so whichever state is down to which part has taken over your life in that moment. And each part has different strengths and weaknesses and priorities. So allow for those parts to express themselves and then let them go. And then eventually allow for the part in you that is driven by compassion, that is driven by kindness, that is driven by hope to come out and take over. And that part of you will be able eventually easily to forgive or do whatever that you get to do. Nikki, hello there. I really need advice. Okay, let's hear it. Seattle, I really hope you find peace as you're working through this, Pumpkin Puff. Yeah. Pumpkin Puff. Oh, on that note, he did apologize. Okay, result. He did take responsibility at the end. Yes, but I feel like absolute crap because I lost myself and I've been in my head all day. Okay, so focus on the positive. So again, you have BPD, so you will have shame. You will beat yourself up emotionally. You will do that. We all do this when we have PPD. What's wrong with me? Why am I doing this again? Why can't I change? Oh. But remember to be kind to yourself. We talked about it in great length on Wednesday, and I can talk more about it, but you know what I'm going to say. You want to be kind to yourself, and you want to focus on the good stuff. So focus, very good stuff for you to focus on, just on what you say. You can focus on the fact that he did apologize, he did take responsibility. So that's victory. That's all you need to focus on. It's there, it's true, it's real, it's a fact, it exists. You did it. Just focus on that and feel great about it. You know what? I'm going to be kind to myself, number one. And number two, this happened. So I can celebrate. I can pat myself on the back. I can really remind myself, I've got power. I can change things. It's happening. And so focus on that instead. Focus on the progress. Focus on the good stuff. Focus on the positive. Thank you for your heart. Hummingbird. Hi, wonderful human being. Wonderful you. This, that, and that. Thank you. Hummingbird. Joe the boy, a pumpkin puff. I feel you might have a really broken relationship with your father, and deep inside you're expecting your man to be the good dad you never had. Can you accept your man the way he is now? Let me read this. I have now an apprehension about any comment from Joe the boy after the previous one. I think you might have a really broken relationship with your father, and deep inside you're expecting your man to be a good dad. I think what maybe you don't realize is that Pumpkin Puff has borderline personality disorder. So everything else goes out the window. So now if you want to psychoanalyze and find out exactly why, I'm sure that we can discuss it with Pumpkin Puff, but I don't believe that there's any need at this point in time to focus on whatever dad relationship. Here it's about BPD. Something happened. A lot of things happened for a long time. They were very bad with many people. And because of that, now Pumpkin Puff is like that. I think you are thinking about father wound issues, which is typically the sort of things that some people who are trying to preach some aspect of healing from the masculine side would say. So I'm not saying for sure. I don't want to assume, but it sounds like it. I don't think it's a broken relationship with a father. I believe that there's so much more to this than that. But that's also because we know each other. Pumpkin Puff has been coming to my live stream for a little while now. So I don't think that we don't want to oversimplify things like that and say it's because you need to man up. Basically, it's what you're trying to say. Can you accept your man the way he is now? It feels very weird to me. Again, I'm not going to assume anything. Probably you come from a good place and you have some tips that you would like to share, but at this point in time, I don't see it just yet. Van Miner, your wise words are really helpful. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you, Van Miner. Pumpkin Puff, message retracted. Kevin, did you do any manifestation? Yes, we all manifest every day. Manifestation is not something that we do consciously. It's something that happens. Manifestation is a happening. We manifest any aspect of our reality each moment. Everything about our life is the literal manifestation of what we think, what we believe, what we feel, and what we expect of our existence to be about. Seattle, my piano is in our living room, but I do have a small garage with my old touring keyboard. Okay, so there you go. I will spend some time moving my keyboard so I can be on my own. Thank you again. Fantastic. Yes. So you have space. You have a garage. You're lucky. You know, I live in London in tiny flats, so we don't have space here. But if you have a garage and you have a piano and a touring keyboard, you've got a lot of options. Fantastic. So do this. You can do this. Van Mana, do you have an advice on how to overcome hostility and attempt to make you fail at work? So we need to know more about this. So some people are trying to be horrible to you, they're trying to make you fail. So I cannot change them. I don't know. I don't have, I'm not Professor Charles Xavier. I don't have any power like that. However, the one thing we can do together is to change how you feel about it. Right? The only one thing that I can do is to address how you feel about the situation, how you see it, how you perceive it, how you react to it. So we can talk about this. So who is trying to do what to you? Right? If you can give me some more information, that will be very helpful. Pumpkin Puff, I do understand that how he is from his past too. I know it's both of us and not just one. Okay, great, thank you. I do want to continue, I want to try. Okay, so there you go. So you're good, you're all right. You just wanted to let it out, right? But I think I hear you, and I think that we're on the same wavelength. Are we? Person with a question. When you start setting boundaries, people always push back. And then you start learning how to create balanced boundaries and force them until you build a reputation of upholding your boundaries. My experience. Yes, this is it. Precisely. Thank you. Person with a question. So, pumpkin puff. I agree with that entirely. Absolutely. Totally. Seattle. I do love my kids. I'm very thankful. Thank you for the healthy reminders to not take these things personally. Yes, kids behavior is never to be taken personally. This is basic children's psychology. Kids are just experiencing themselves. They don't have any secret agenda. They're just exploring the universe and reality and trying out what happens. What happens if I put my hand there? What happens if I push that thing and make it fall? They are experimenting everything because it is what we do. As a child, we're there to experience reality. And so it's about understanding that nothing is ever personal. We get angry because we project ourselves on them. We're thinking, oh, he's done it on purpose. He's a bad boy. He's trying to test my limits. He's never listening to me, or she's never listening to me. And it's not true. We need to teach them how to behave through our own behavior. And the way we radiate our energy is going to affect their reaction. So when they're in a certain state, it's not because they're choosing to be like that. It's because they're responding to our energy. It was always us. It's like something with dogs. If you have a dog, if you're a good dog owner, you understand that if the dog is behaving badly, it's not because they're bad. It's because you are creating tension and negative energy, so they're reacting to your negative energy. If you're the pack leader or you're meant to be leading, and it's the same with kids, you're the pack leader. And so by demonstrating peace, calm, love, happiness, compassion, also solving problems with mental clarity, as opposed to freaking out, as opposed to trying to blame someone, this is how they learn. This is how they're going to respond to you. And this is how they're going to also react energetically to any situation. Seattle, this does make sense. Cheers, fantastic. Thank you, Seattle. Pumpkin Puff. I want in my soul to keep trying. I love him dearly, but I also feel dead inside, which is my own issues. I'm tired. I feel lost in my own mind. I don't know how to work on the real issue. Okay, so the real issue is that you've forgotten one thing, the element of time. There are some moments where you feel good because you're able to do something and you see the result. There are some other moments when you feel powerless and disempowered. This is not the same person. This is not the same version of you. This is not the same aspect of you. We have different parts. In one moment, you're feeling, gosh, I managed to get him to apologize. Fantastic. The next moment, a different part of you has taken over. And that part is going to think, yeah, but it's not enough. Yeah, but why do I have to work so hard to get a little breadcrumb of kindness from him? You're not the same person. Realize this, that each moment you are someone different. There's a different version of you that is taking over this moment. And so, if you can see like that, there's nothing wrong about you. There's nothing wrong about you. It's just that there are some aspects of you that are quite disempowered, which come out more often than the parts of you that are empowered. That's it. The example that I often give, the analogy, is like a karaoke party. And you are the MC, you have the mic. Who are you going to give the mic to? Your subconscious mind, that is the MC, is giving the mic to the part of you that is angry, that is disempowered, that is helpless. As opposed to giving that mic to the part of you that is hopeful, that is satisfied with what you have, that is content. Okay, does it make sense? It's just a confusion about time. It's a big topic, and I'm working on it, as in creating videos and content, and eventually writing a book about it. But we tend to believe that there's something wrong about us because we forget that each moment is followed by another moment, and each moment is different. It's a different story. It's a different thing altogether, and each moment allows for a different part of you to express itself. Does it make sense? Pumpkin puff. Pumpkin puff. Sorry for being all over again today. Don't be sorry. Never be sorry with me. You can be sorry with your husband, but not with me. I am like you. I understand you. I feel you. So I totally get you. There's nothing that you can ever do or say that will ever trigger me or make me feel bad about you. I will never judge you. Okay? Some people will. And there are explanations, there are reasons as to why. But I should never. Because I should understand what you're going through. Because I've been through the same. I just don't know how to step out of my head to see past myself and my feelings. So that's because the part of you that is negative has taken over in that moment. But if you can find a way to breathe, meditate, let go of that part, chill out, do something that makes you happy, eventually at some point, the part of you that are empowered will be able to grab the mic and take charge of that moment. Person with a question at Pumpkin Puff. I'm with you. I wish you find some calm and joy today. Thank you for your heart, by the way, that allow you to decide. Okay. Sorrow gone. My kid became transgender 5 years ago. It was so difficult and painful. Now he's 20 years old. After 5 years, it is still not easy. It's hard for me to accept the narrative that he adopted. Okay, he didn't adapt a narrative. He was born like that. It's hard for you because you believe that he has adopted that. You don't know yet, you haven't accepted yet the science behind it. We are born a specific gender. There's a brain that is more typically male or more typically female. There are lots of studies, a lot of research, solid science about it. Right? If you're not sure, check out someone called Robert Sapolsky. There's a lot of, I have a list, a lot of people who are tremendously brilliant in their field, neurobiologists, who will explain how we are all born with a brain. In the womb, we can already tell that that kid is going to have a propensity to be a bit more male or female, regardless of the genetics, regardless of the chromosome. Right? This is a part of science that a lot of people are finding it difficult to accept because of the propaganda, because people want us to be divided, to have some scapegoats. So they're going to get us to hate some people. They will say, the transgenders, the foreigners, the immigrants, or whatever, the woke, the feminist, and it's just a distraction. The science behind it is that we are born absolutely either more male or more female, regardless of our genes and chromosomes and our body parts. It's a brain thing. And so if you can accept this, if you can study and realize the science behind it, if you can open your mind and your heart so that you can accept the truth, the scientific truth, then you'll be able to accept your child. That's all there is. When people say, it's so rubbish, and the best thing they come up with is that in the Bible it says Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, or Madam and Eve, or whatever, stuff like that. And again, it's just because we are emotionally attached to some belief, because those beliefs connect us with our tribe. And so we are more coming from a place of what is right and wrong within my community, instead of what is right and wrong in regards to you being a parent to your child. Your child needs you. And for you to have an optimal human experience, you want to do your best to connect with your child. It's a very special connection, and we should never dismiss this. We should never put this behind anything, including our tribe. If our tribe don't accept our child, change tribe. There are better tribes that are more loving and accepting, and also intelligent, understanding the science of things. Does it help, Sorgon? We can talk about this more. I'm quite passionate about that subject. I am myself part of the LGBTQ plus community. So for me, it is a very, very important conversation. Pumpkin Puff. Yes, I need to write a note to be kind to myself. It's important. Yes, write it. Write it here on your head every day. Write it on your phone, on your post notes, write it on the mirror, write it on your screensavers. Write it everywhere. Have a tattoo of it. Remind yourself to be kind to yourself. That's pretty much all that we need to learn how to do first and foremost, whatever that we want to do to address in our life. Could it be healing or growth? Cannot. Namo Buddha. I don't know what is Namo. If it's derogatory, you're not going to stay very long on that channel. But I'm going to give you the benefit of doubt for now. Cannot. Pumpkin Puff. Yes, thank you, Didi. I need to rewire my brain to focus on the positive parts, not just the negative ones. So you don't need to rewire your brain. This is too big. You know, rewiring a brain is a lot of things to do. All you need to do is to be kind to yourself. Make it simple. All you need to do is to remind yourself, I'm being harsh on myself again. I never chose to be like that. And I'm going to choose to focus on the good stuff, the progress, the positive, the things that make me feel good, that I can be proud of. Just that. And as you do that over a long period of time, this is how you rewire your brain. But don't think about trying to rewire your brain, because it means a lot of different things and it's different for everyone. And they're all protocols to make this happen. And this is one of them. But you've got to do what you can do. So just focus on those little things, simple things, easy things. Don't worry about rewiring your brain. Just focus on being kind to yourself. That's it. One baby step at a time, one moment at a time. There's no rush, there's no deadline, there's no pressure. It's just you doing your best to continue the journey that you started, but in a slightly better direction, every day a little bit more. That's it. REM Network. Hi Didi, REM in the house, always a pleasure. Hello, welcome, welcome. Nice to have you. Pumpkin Puff. Yes, since you said you were thinking of me, I thought I'd forward, but I tried what we talked about. I just feel like I know nothing about my own emotions and feel stuck when I need to work on healing. So instead of saying, so let's do this. Instead of saying, I know nothing about my emotions, just think, I'm going to learn about this. Don't be unkind to yourself. I know nothing. I'm such an idiot. I know nothing. I don't know how to do this. What's wrong with me? Instead, tell yourself, I'm going to learn. I'm going to find out. There's no rush. There's no pressure. I'm going to learn how to do this. And if I don't do it today, it's okay. At some point, I will be able to find out about how to get started on that journey. Maybe tomorrow, maybe after tomorrow, maybe it's going to take more time. It doesn't matter. Be kind to yourself. Pumpkin Puff, I needed your wisdom. Thank you. And thank you for your heart. Nakesh Verma, do you know Virat Kohli? No, I don't. And so that person has repeated the same message like 10 times. So this is typically what trolls do. So I'm not going to even give that troll a chance. Had use on this channel just like that. Bang. I'm not sure why we do that. I'm not sure how funny it is. Maybe I'm trying to understand the funny behind it, because I like humor as well, within the right context, which now is not. But never mind. Let's move on. Gosh, that person was very busy repeating the same message. I don't see the message, right? If you can steal me, it's all deleted. What I have is a notification that someone put something that I have deleted. Diego Marathoner, love the content, thank you. I want to start streaming, but I don't have enough subscribers yet, okay? So instead of waiting to have enough subscribers to stream, start to stream, even if there's no one. I think this is how Mr. Beast started. He started to do things, him and many others, on their own. No one, just talking to themselves. And I know that it's weird, it's awkward. But eventually, as you do that, you become better and better. And some people who are passing by, they may think, oh, I like the energy of that person. And they remember you, and they may come back the next time. Just bear with me, please. My watch is telling me that I must post my third TikTok post of the day. So just bear with me. I'm going to do this straight away.
Hey, it's been so long.
Not waiting for the right. Just bear with. Okay, it's out. Let's come back to, sorry, to that conversation. So yes, if you want to do some live streams but you don't have enough people, instead of waiting for the people, get started, because you have some skills to develop. And so I know this because I'm doing this as well. It took me a while to learn how to be comfortable in front of a camera and even to be articulate, because of my conditions, because of the fact that English is not my first language. When I first started to do this thing, I couldn't even understand what I was saying. So I had to learn all of those things. It took some time. So what I would advise you to do is to get started straight away and have the mindset that you are not doing this because what you say is important. You're doing this because you want to become better at what you do. So you're going to take each live stream as an opportunity for you to think out loud. You're going to talk about the topics, the theme that you want to talk about, as if you're talking to an imaginary friend. And as you do this, you'll become better at thinking those things, at delivering them, at expressing yourself in whichever way is best for you. And at some point, some people will appreciate that. And we start to follow you and listen to you, and that's how you start to develop your live stream. People will start to ask you questions, and you'll be able to create a community eventually over some period of time. But don't expect for everything to be perfect to do something. Do what you can with what you have and use it as an opportunity for personal growth. Everything that you do, especially when it comes to social media stuff, is an opportunity for you to grow, to become better at it. Everything about the social media is a lot of skills. It takes a lot of skills to do any of those things that we see that we think are nothing. But for anyone to exist on social media, it requires some skills of some sort. And so it's for you to find out what are the skills you need to develop. And the universe will match your level of readiness accordingly as you develop, as you grow, with the amount of followers and people who find your stuff and content interesting. I hope it makes sense. Does it, Diego? Chris Hilton, very grateful for you, Didi. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for having you here. Pumpkin Puff, I very much appreciate that you can give me your point of view from someone who has also experienced similar feelings / situations with BPD. I know your husband and you also had your own difficulties. Yes, yes. So this is very, very close to home because it is indeed home for us as well. Sargon, thank you, Sargon. Thank you so much. We can talk about this more if you want. Seattle, have a great day. Gotta bounce. Catch you later. Thank you. Have a great day yourself. And remember, if you're not familiar with what I do, I come here every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. UK time. So we can always continue our conversation in the future. And also, I put a long form video every week. Check it out. I believe that it can help people. That's it. Do subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, please. Oh, also last thing, that live stream will be available to replay at some point on YouTube whenever it's fully uploaded. I think it takes 1 day, sometimes more than 1 day. But if you found anything that we talked about interesting at some point on the live section of my page, you can find all my live streams and you can replay them and retrieve whatever information you may have found interesting. Pumpkin Puff. My husband is trying to learn about BPD, which I'm hoping will help. Okay, fantastic. Yes, it's the most important thing. When we have someone with any condition at all, when we understand the condition, we realize that there's a lot of things that we expect from them that we need to give up. We need to ditch. We need to let go. If I love that person, I must accept that person with their qualities, but also with their limitations. We all have limitations. We're all different. But also all have qualities. And so a relationship is about basically two people healing their own wounds and attuning to each other and seeing the beauty and the potential within each other as opposed to the bad stuff. We all have good stuff. We all have bad stuff. Depending on where we're going to look at it, we get to have different experience with our spouse, partner. Thank you for the little hearts. I am Medusa. Hi, hello. Sargon, I would like to talk with you about this. Okay, go on. I'm happy to have a conversation any time of the day. Pumpkin Puff. Oh, actually, be kind to yourself tattoo would be nice. Yeah. Some people have tattoos in their hand here, so that somehow we can be reminded on their fingers. Maybe here, be kind to yourself. So every time you look at your finger, as opposed to if you have it in your back, that won't be much of much use. Pumpkin Puff. Okay, so read that. Sargon, but thank you. Thank you. REM Network. You need to forgive yourself for your moment of guilt, shame. It was wrong. We all make mistakes in this very not so nice world. burn it and let it go. I have many boards ready to go. REM, I don't miss. Okay. Forrest Berger. How do you know when you have fully healed from a trauma and when to move on and grow from life's experience? It is when you are no longer triggered by talking or thinking about a subject. So we know that we have healed from a trauma when we're feeling safe, and also when we are no longer holding a negative self-talk. It's very, people don't talk about it enough, but trauma is not just about not feeling safe. It's also about creating a mental environment where we're going to be kind to ourselves. If we are being very harsh on ourselves, it's a symptom of trauma. It's a sign of a dysregulated nervous system, because there's a part of us that is trying to protect us from the bad stuff by reminding us that we are not worthy, that we are not enough, that we are not lovable, that we are not important, that we don't matter, that we don't deserve the good things in life. The reason we are having those negative thoughts is because there's a part of us that believes that it wants to protect us from the good stuff, because the good stuff we never had, so it could be dangerous. And so we know that we have healed when we no longer have any of the symptoms of trauma. So we don't have any state of anxiety, paranoia, hypervigilance, constantly scrutinizing our environment and overthinking things and replaying every conversation or what happened, and also self-negative talk. Now, for some of us, we may have a lot of overthinking, but it's not about overthinking. It's about the quality of the thought. So this is a whole different conversation. But essentially, yes, if you feel safe, if you're able to function in life and do and also talk to yourself in a compassionate way, to me, this is what trauma is. There's a very simple quote that I've shared on one of my short video, and it goes like this: you know that you have fully healed from trauma when you have become the person that you needed then. So if it's CPTSD, you have become the person that can protect yourself, that can understand, that can explain, that can solve any problems. But if you have suffered from a trauma because of an event, you have become the person who knows what to do if that thing was to ever happen again. Right? If you have a trauma because of an accident, natural disaster, or something like that, you are still a different person to that person before, because now you know that if it happens again, you can do that instead. So that's the difference. And it's not about knowing it cognitively, it's knowing it emotionally, subconsciously. Your nervous system needs to know it, basically, not your head. Is it clear to you, Forrest Berger? JJ4239, thank you, Didi, thank you. I am Medusa. Rewiring the brain is not focusing, oops. Sorry about it. Rewiring the brain is not focusing on the brain, it's focusing on your thoughts and actions. Don't let your emotions dictate your actions dictate your emotions. Rewiring the brain is just about changing our habits. That's all there is. So there are a lot of different takes. Maybe you come from a specific field and there's a way for you to explain it to your people, and that's fair enough. But for me, rewiring your brain is just changing habits. So we have habits of thought, specifically habits of actions and habits of emotions, and they're all intertwined. And rewiring our brain is just studying new habit, and through the process of neuroplasticity, which in layman terms only means repetition. Anything repeated over time will become a new habit. That's it. That's all the rewiring is about. Now, there's a difference between rewiring the brain and upgrading or limiting subconscious belief. There's a nuance. But rewiring the brain is just repeating a new habit over time, so that the old habit eventually is replaced by the new habit. It is that simple. I think the hardest thing is not rewiring of the brain. The hardest thing is to upgrade our belief, because this happens at the subconscious level. And so this is much out of reach and much difficult to access. We need more self-awareness in order to do this. Yeah. And when you say don't let your emotions dictate your actions dictate your emotions, it tells me that I don't think you have a deep understanding of emotions just yet. And it's not a diss. It's just that a lot of us, we don't, and I didn't know this myself, but your emotions dictate everything. 95% of your mind is an emotional mind. Your subconscious mind is an emotional mind. And so it's not like don't allow your emotions. Your emotions are there before the cognitive. Only 5% is cognitive. Only 5% is your thoughts. Only 5% is what you think. It's what your ego thinks you are in control of. In fact, your emotional subconscious mind allows you what you're going to choose. So whatever you think you're choosing, deciding, willpower and all that stuff is limited by your subconscious emotional mind first and foremost. And so understanding this is quite important if you want to heal. Emotions are very important. And it's not about not allowing our emotions to prevent us from taking action. It's about understanding the emotion, the emotional energy, the role it has in our physiology and our life, and what we can do about it so that it can work for us. We can work together with us, with all of those things together in the same direction, as opposed to me against my emotions, only with my thoughts and my actions. But then again, I don't expect most people to understand this, and this is precisely what I'm here for. I'm not dissing you. I'm not trying to belittle you. I understand that most people don't know this. I didn't know this, but it is my profession. This is what I do for a living, and so it's very important for me within my space, my live stream, to highlight how we don't want to say things like, don't let your emotion dictate your actions. This is what we would say if we don't understand the emotional mind. If we do understand the emotional mind, we understand why we have emotions, and instead of suppressing them, avoiding them, trying to control our actions by suppressing emotions, we want to have a good, better relationship with our emotions so that we can let go of that energy. And then we can, after that, upgrade our belief, which are the program that will dictate the next following emotional reactions for the rest of our life. I hope it makes sense. Kevin, if a stranger yells at you yesterday for no reason, what to do to forgive but don't forget? You need to realize that that person didn't shout at you. That person shouted for millions of reasons, but not because of you. They shouted because they were angry, because they were hurt, because they were frustrated, because they were confused, because they were overwhelmed. And you happened to be there. It was not because of you. It was because they hurt, right? It's like as if I'm walking on, I hurt my foot because I walk on something sharp. I'm shouting. I'm not shouting at you. I'm shouting because I'm expressing my own pain. And you happen to be there. And because of the way we've been brought up, we believe that it's because of us. They are attacking us. But if you can see people through the eyes of compassion and empathy and realize it's got nothing to do with you, then you don't need to take it personally. You can think, you know what? I'm going to create a space between me and that person because I don't know if they're safe or not. However, I don't need to think about it and think, they're bad. What's wrong with them? Because we all suffer. We all have our troubles. We all have our baggage. We all have our battles. We know nothing about anyone else, and we're all trying our best. I hope it makes sense. Does it, Kevin? I am Medusa. I had to release and relearn, and it's liberating. I'm glad you had to. Thank you, Medusa. Person with a question at Seattle, have a lovely day. Yes. Pumpkin Puff. Also, for the future thoughts, I will never be offended by anything you tell me. Thank you. Sometimes I need to hear hard truth. I appreciate your insight and your time that you spent to help me/others. Thank you. Thank you, Pumpkin Puff. Strawberry Black. Oh, hello. Strawberry Black. Hello, Santa. The next comment is gay. We have a troll. How old are you? Are you 10 years old? Does your mom knows that you're on the social media? I'm going to get rid of you, okay? Hi, user. And let's move on. I am Medusa. I love happy comments. Thank you. Sag, why you look like... Okay, another one. Gosh. Hi, user. Back. I'm just hiding them, so I believe that they can still see the live stream. The only difference is that whenever they write, no one can see them. So if you can still see that, maybe stick with us if you want to learn something from that live stream, but I won't be able to help you anymore because we can't see your comment. I am Medusa. Yes, I blocked you. I will not let you talk to him like that. No respect, no comment. Are you talking about someone before? Okay. Person with a question, read a question on trauma. Does the hypervigilance ever go away? Yes, of course. The hypervigilance is only there to protect you as long as it believes that you are not safe. That's it. You're hypervigilant because there's a part of you that still believes that there's danger, imminent danger. That's it. But the moment you can change the filters and realize I'm safe, and as you do this with repetition, your nervous system will start to feel, you know what, I've got nothing to worry about, and it will start to relax. You will no longer need to be hypervigilant. This is a direct symptom of trauma. So what it means is that when you hear from trauma, this disappears. Forrest Berger, thank you for taking the time to help random strangers, of course. What you are doing is very appreciated by so many. Thank you so much. I'm glad you appreciate. Yes, it makes perfect sense. Thank you dearly. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I am Medusa. Yep. Clapping hand. Thank you. Forrest Berger, last question. Any advice on quitting smoking cigarettes? Thank you again. There's tons of things that I could tell you. One of my specialism is addiction. So we can address any addiction, but we're all slightly different. However, there's something that I can tell you about cigarettes that is quite common. Very often, so I don't know if that's the case for you, but very often we have an association with cigarette and we return to that place when we are stressed out because there's someone in our life, in our past, that used to smoke that we liked. So at the subconscious level, very often, again, not always, but very often it may be grandma used to smoke, or dad used to smoke, or someone, or my big brother, or someone that I looked up to, maybe my hero, my Hollywood, or my hero, my favorite musician, David Bowie, used to smoke. And so because of that, we have an attachment. And when we're overwhelmed and stressed out by life, there's a part of us that reminds us, where do I go to feel better about myself? I have a cigarette. I'm back into that space with that person in our mind. And so this is maybe something that you want to address. Realize that the only reason why you are choosing cigarettes over anything else when you are stressed out is because you have some sort of positive associations and attachment with the cigarette, with the smoke smell, perhaps, with the action of it, or maybe even just with the idea of it. So first realize this, and realize that you only smoke, number one, out of habit, and number two, when you are stressed out, especially. It's a stress regulator. It's there to soothe your nervous system. And so once you realize that maybe, you know what, I have it because it's reminding me of mom or my uncle or whoever, then you can change it by choosing a new, better habit. Instead of the cigarette, choose something else that you can do to replace it. So whenever you're stressed out, what else could you do to feel better about yourself? It can be anything at all. You can go for a walk. You can do 10 burpees on the spot. You can dance the lambada, whatever. You can choose to do something. You can do some breathing technique. Choose to do something that will make you feel better. Or choose to learn how to redirect your mind towards something that stimulates you positively, something creative, something exciting, so that you don't need to think about the cigarettes anymore. Now, the most important aspect of it, and it's very, very common with smokers, is to realize that your brain does not process a negative. And so what it means is that if you say, I don't want to smoke, I can't smoke, smoke is bad, all that your mind will get is smoke, smoke, smoke. So what you want to do is to instead focus on what you want to do instead of the smoking. I want to be healthy. I want to have a breath of fresh air. I want to go for a walk. I want to go to the gym. I want to practice meditation. I want to practice some mindfulness exercise. I want to do some grounding technique. I want to do some breathing technique. Replace it with that. If you say, don't want to smoke, smoke is bad, smoke is bad, all you get is smoke, 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 smoke. It's going to be harder for you not to be having a cigarette. So there you go. I hope it helps. Let me know. Again, they're just random questions because you're just asking me a random general question. If you want to be more specific, I can give you some super specific advice, but I need to have some more details. Person with a question. Here. That's why I'm learning to understand my emotions better. Okay. I am Medusa. Decisions create your reality, and in that reality is where the emotions are created. No, emotions exist beforehand. So emotions come before, emotions create a whole reality, and then we think that we have some sort of free will and willpower, and then based on that we create more emotions. So there's a connection, it goes both ways. Whatever we feel affects the way we think, whatever we think affects the way we feel. It goes both ways. However, because our mind is mainly subconscious and emotional, we are vastly, first and foremost, creatures of emotions. And this is why everything that we feel, everything about our life is down to how we feel in this moment. How we feel is going to dictate how we think and what we think. And after that, what we think and how we think is going to create more of the feelings, and then it carries on like that. But it starts with an emotion, with a feeling. And this is why when it comes to healing, with the tools that I use, with hypnosis, we address the subconscious mind, we address all of those automatic programs that we talk about. The automatic pilot is emotional, right? But I understand not many people realize this. And it's true what you say, what we think affects and impacts how we feel. But it all starts beforehand with emotions. We have a setup, we have a collection of filters that get us to give us a map of the world and reality that is all based on emotional filters, emotional triggers, emotional blocks. It's all emotional. I can talk more about this if you want, Medusa. Just ask me. Forrest Berger, I watch you live videos as much as I can. Fantastic, thank you, Forrest. Estrom, I don't understand. You, Bobby, what does that mean? Person with a question. Decisions are driven by emotion as much as reason. They are not. They are decided by emotions way before. Again, 95%. The reason is only 5%. Now, some of us are more able to regulate their emotions. And this is why we say that. People who follow the Stoics, for instance, it's all about logic, reason, oh, you must have. And they don't realize that many of us, we have trauma, we have conditions, we have baggage, we have wounds. We cannot regulate emotionally. It's not possible. Our brain is different because we had an upbringing that shaped it differently, and it's not our fault. We never chose to be traumatized. We never chose to suffer. We never chose to have some genetic traits. We never chose to have parents or bullies who would hurt us like that. But because of that, we cannot do that. It's not possible. It's zero, impossible. Or at least not yet. Not until we have healed and worked on ourselves. And this is why it is so important to highlight this, because otherwise we live in an autocritical society that judges everyone else, and the lack of empathy. We don't realize that so many of us suffer, and it's not our fault, but we cannot. When people say you have to be responding intellectually instead of reacting emotionally, it's impossible. It's impossible for people like us. And there are so many like us, people with ADHD, people who are on the spectrum of autism, people who have BPD, bipolar, people who have CPTSD, people who have OCD, there's so many of us. Anxiety, depression, so many things that can get us to be like that. And it's not because we're not reasoning. It's not because we're not clever. It's not because we're not trying hard enough. It's not because we're inferior. It is because we had an upbringing, an environment that has affected the way our brain has developed in such a way. And so we are limited by our emotions. We don't choose to react emotionally. We don't choose to be a Karen. Karens can be dangerous. We need to be careful. But no one chooses that. We react because of X, Y, Z. And if you can understand that, if you can have enough empathy to want to explore the subconscious emotional mind, now we're onto something, right? That applies for everyone. Also, neurotypical people. I hope it makes sense. Whatever reason we have is going to be very limited by our emotions. Again, think about the iceberg picture. 95% subconscious, 5%, penny, tiny, little 5% is cognitive, and that's the reason. But for most of us, it's very hard to comprehend because we don't want to lose that illusion of control that we have. But self-awareness starts with that acceptance. I am Medusa. I go by personal experience through severe trauma. Okay, we can talk about this if you want, absolutely. You're in a good space. We all have different experience of it. My job here is to try to show some perspective that can help everyone individually. But also I want to make sure that the dialogue we have is upgraded to conversations that can benefit everyone else. So we want to let go of judgment. We want to let go of projection. Because something works for someone doesn't mean that's going to work for everyone. We're all different. And so, yeah. Pumpkin Puff, do you think that others can hurt you more than we can hurt ourselves? Yes, no, it depends. Some people can hurt us more, some people can hurt us less. We can hurt ourselves more or less, it depends. It all depends on myriads of parameters. It depends. But one thing that is for sure is that if you hurt yourself, now you're opening the doors for everyone to hurt you. So that's the difference. If you are unkind to yourself, you allow everyone else to be unkind to you. If people are trying to hurt you, but you're learning how to be kind to yourself, if you stop hurting yourself, now you have a power to say no to them. Right? That's the difference. Some people, as soon as they come across someone that is going to be abusive, they say, no, F off. Otherwise, because they can. Some of us, we can't do this. We're going to say, you know what, I'm going to give them a chance. Maybe they don't mean it, because we have our own baggage. And so now, actually, I'm realizing that what you said is very useful. If you can learn how to no longer hurt yourself, that's where you start to build your defense mechanism, your healing mechanism, and you will start to be able to stop allowing the bad people in your life and to stop allow them to keep hurting you. We allow people to treat us based on how we treat ourselves. Kevin, if you want to quit smoking, try nicotine patch 25 milligrams per day. So if it works for you, then it's good. But for a lot of people, it's much deeper than that. So people who come to see me, they tried all those things. I've got people who have all sorts of addiction, gambling addictions, hard drugs addiction, all sorts. And so for some people, cigarettes can be easy or hard, depending on many, many different things, right? So if for you, having that is enough, super easy, fantastic, hallelujah, good on you. But a lot of people try this and it doesn't work. A lot of people try all sorts of things and it doesn't work because they haven't addressed some subconscious blocks. So this is the work that I would do with my clients. But if it's all that you need, do it, and then hallelujah. I am Medusa. I don't disagree, but as everything, it is personal, and we must mix our personal with everyone else's. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just trying to say that, explain how the mind works. So maybe you have experienced it like that, and maybe it was you were able to have more cognitive input into your healing. But for many of us, it's not the case. And so that's the only reason I'm making sure that I'm not going to let that overgeneralization on my channel, because I want to basically highlight everyone. I want to be inclusive. I want to make sure that everyone is seen. That's the only reason, right? I'm not trying to disagree with anyone or to disagree with you. I'm really trying to incorporate more people. I hope we're on the same wavelength about this. Kevin, yes, it makes sense. Fantastic. James Stark said hi. Hello. Where's Santiago? I was able to stop smoking when I got back into paintball. Very expensive hobby, lol. Right? Okay. So there you go. Every time you want to smoke, have a paintball, shoot yourself in the foot. Just like that, you don't need to smoke anymore. If it works for you, why not? James, I like your outfit. Thank you. Person with a question. Repetition is the key. Thank you. Yes, repetition is the key for everything. We function or we operate with habits and repetition. Our brain, our nervous system, our sense of self, our reality, everything is about repetition and habit. That's it. I am Medusa. Your brain does some crazy shit protecting you. Trust me, I lose facial recognition. I go blank and I can't see and I can't hear. I shut down and erase and go into shock when triggered. I get it. I agree with you. Absolutely. Jax Kabal said hi. Hello. Jax Kabal, the thing is drinking is good. Smokes are its hard task. I don't think that drinking is good. I used to be addicted to alcohol and class A drugs. So for me, it's a clear, absolute no. But then again, nothing is all good or bad. If you can drink responsibly and you enjoy this, then it brings you happiness. And so in that sense, it's good for you. I am Medusa. I try to stop smoking. However, I can't because it's part of my heritage and I pray with it. Smoke is part of me. Okay, so it's not that you try to stop. You accept, you have chosen already, it's part of your heritage. For you, it's more important to smoke because it's part of your heritage. And so it's your choice. You don't have to stop then. If you wanted to stop, you could change that. You could realize, I used to believe that it was part of my heritage. And I love my heritage, but I don't need to put my health at risk because of old habits. I can upgrade that heritage in ways that I still show loyalty and love to my tribe, to my people, without having to affect my health. It's possible. Jack's Cabal, true, want to live healthy. Person with a question, the advice on addiction is gold. Gold. I appreciate you, Didi. Thank you so much. My pleasure. Koratan Tana said hi. Hello. El Liyad. It's too much. I'm going to say Liyad. I can't read the whole thing. It's giving me a brain ache. Anyway, I think therefore I am. I disagree with that. I'd say this is only one aspect of us. You feel. You are also because you feel. You are also because you have consciousness. It's not because you think. When it comes to mindfulness, precisely, our work is to really realize that we are not our thoughts. So it's not I think versus I am. It's I think versus my ego expresses itself through that thought. But what you are is much bigger than that. Your ego is only one expression of you. You can be the observer. And so when you observe, you don't think. And you are. You are the essence of yourself. You are what we call the soul, the inner being. You are anything that people call that are that to do with your consciousness, your experience of being here and being alive and existing. I am Medusa. The brain puts out endorphins that supports happiness or sorrow. Okay. By the way, I'm extremely healthy and have smoked most of my life. I'm 60, no meds and active. Good on you. Good on you. It's not the case for everyone. Everyone is different. If it works for you, why not? Some people, they live 100 years old and they drink 1 glass of alcohol every day or 1 cigarette a day. Why not? It takes many things to make something happen. So it's never just this or that. However, at a general level, it's true that we must understand that for the vast majority of people, it's not a good thing. And so, yeah, it depends. There's also a matter of lifestyle and a matter of dose. If you smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day, I doubt that anyone would be healthy. But if you have a little bit of something every now and then, why not? If you have all the other aspects of yourself in order, then you may be able to do this. It's like me, because of my trauma, because of my childhood, I have a lot of problems with my health. My body overreacts. I'm very hypersensitive to all sorts of things, food, skin, and it's all unconscious. And I was born like that. And so because of that, I need to be super careful with the sort of food that I put in my system. My husband, on the other hand, he has had all sorts of problems, but he doesn't have the sensitivity that I have because he didn't have this trauma. And so he can eat pretty much any rubbish. And he's okay. He eats a ton of rubbish all the time. And I know, we both know that at some point he will stop because there will be a threshold, his body won't be able to tolerate this anymore. But for now, he's able to put all sorts of rubbish that I can never dream of having in my system anymore because I am different. And so we're all different. JJ42, have a lovely day. Thank you. Thank you. Same to you. Pumpkin Puff, I was told it's easier to react. I don't agree when you have BPD because it feels impossible not to, but maybe I'm wrong. No, this is it. When you have BPD, you don't choose, you just react. Reaction is a protection mechanism. It's your subconscious mind constantly scanning your environment and protecting you from everything because it believes that you're going to be hurt again. You're going to be abandoned again. You're going to be left alone again. So we don't choose reactions. That's why we agree, right? Person with a question. I have been given so much criticism about my decisions that I have been forced to decide big decisions based on reason, or I don't decide at all. Now I see my decisions sometimes is such a struggle. Your indecisions are also a form of protection. If you find it difficult to take decisions, it's because there's been some moments in the past where decisions that you have taken has led you into suffering and trouble. And so subconscious mind now is finding it very difficult to make a decision. I know this, I have suffered from this myself. I didn't know that I had this, but for many, many years in the 1990s, we used to have blockbusters. So video shops where you can rent movies. And I would spend hours and hours trying to decide. Like literally, I was with a girlfriend at the time and I was driving her mind. I would spend like 2 hours looking for a movie. I could never make up my mind. because of my trauma. I didn't realize it, but there's a part of me that could not make decisions because it didn't feel safe. So whenever I was stressed out, tired, overwhelmed, that would be a problem. So if you find it difficult, so I've been given so much criticism about my decisions that I've been forced to decide big decisions based on reasons or don't decide at all. Okay, I understand. Okay, I understand what you mean. Okay. Now I see why decisions sometimes is such a struggle. Okay. I am Medusa. Is it smoking or is it the crack that is making you wheeze? The crack, I don't understand. Crack is a terrible thing to smoke. I don't think anyone who smokes crack would be healthy. And it stinks. It really is as bad as a drug as it comes. I'm joking. I'm not calling anyone a crack user. Okay, you are being humorous. Okay, that's fair enough. No problem. I'm thinking about it because I'm seeing someone who smokes crack in the moment, and so I'm realizing it's really, really not fun. If we could understand what's going on in their life, in their mind, in their head, in their heart, we wouldn't. Yeah. Anyway, Forrest, you absolutely nailed it on the habit of smoking. My father smoked. Okay, I loved him dearly. Okay. My father smoked. It's the sight and sensation of the action. Most times, the habit is stress or fear related. Yes. So basically, everything that we do exists to soothe our nervous system, to regulate how we feel. We don't realize this, but everything that we do is about this. And that is not only habits like smoking, but also people pleasing, lying for some of us. Whatever that we do is there because it makes us feel better if we feel a bit under pressure. Will Santiago, indecisions are always a good thing as well. I don't understand. Why are they always a good thing? Forrest, I will work on the things you mentioned and I will update with my progress. Fantastic, thank you. Please do. Peter White, I used Louise Hay positive affirmations to give up smoking. Worth a look. Okay, if it works for you, good on you. There's tons of stuff there. There's a book from a guy called Alan Carr, and few people told me that just that book was good enough for them to change. So it's about finding out whatever works for you. So there's tons of stuff. But we must realize that we're all different, and for some people, all of those things and more will not be enough. So it's about finding what works for us. But yes, if you found success with Louise Hay's affirmation, good on you. Forrest, I'm saving the video so I can review this content later on today. Thank you. So again, all the live streams that I do are to be found on my channel at some point whenever YouTube has uploaded them. So normally it takes a day, but the one that I've done on Wednesday, for some reason, is not uploaded yet. But typically 1 or 2 days, you'll be able to find that video and you can replay it. Absolutely. Thank you for your interest. Julio Chavez, message retracted. I am Medusa. Nobody has the right to harass anyone for their habits. It's not anyone's business, but theirs. If that is how you treat them, that is just a chosen excuse to do it, it hurts them. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking about? I don't understand. Thousands of years of history says it's something we do. What are we talking about? Are you talking about smoking? It's a bit unclear to me. Helen said hi. Hello, Kevin. My mother smoked so far, so good drinking almond milk. No, I'm going to go back to Medusa. Smoking is bad. It is. It's bad for your health. If you enjoy doing this, do it. I'm not saying anyone should do anything. I'm just saying that from a scientific perspective, smoking is not good for you if you smoke a lot. If you smoke a little bit and if somehow it doesn't affect you, it's no problem, as I said. I'm not trying to attack anyone's traditions and cultures. I'm just coming from a general health perspective, right? Kevin, my mother smoked so far so good, drinking almond milk now. Okay. And also, because someone does well with that, it doesn't mean that they wouldn't do better without it. But then again, everything is a matter of dosing, and we all have a different genetic. Extender, play One Direction. I don't get you. I am Medusa. I want people to be happy. You're still going to die whether you smoke or not. Okay, okay. So keep smoking if it makes you happy. It's no problem at all. I have no problem with that. Free smile. Hello. How do we navigate through all the horrific events and information that we are exposed to daily in these crazy times? Okay. So let's talk about this. I'm often asked that question. Let me have some tea first, please. Let me try. So wherever you put your attention on, you get more of. So whatever you put your attention on is going to create more of that in your mind, that will create more of the emotions related to that sort of thought. So what I want you to realize is that, is it true that there are a lot of bad things happening? Yes. Is it true that there's a lot of bad people? Yes. Is it true that there's a lot of injustice and danger in the world? Yes. However, is it true that there are some good stuff as well? Yes. Is it true that there are good people as well? Yes. Is it true that there is hope, that there are people who are fighting back? Yes. Is it true that there are inspiring stuff? Yes. Choose where you need to put your attention on. So we want to keep updated because it's true that a lot of things are happening in the world. Yesterday, the day before, every day, it gets worse and worse every day. However, remember that the nature of the media is going to give us the things that are the most important, because it's dangerous. So it's not going to tell us about all the good things. So we have to do that work. We want to keep ourselves updated and say, okay, this is the situation in Gaza. This is the situation in Minneapolis. This is the situation in in Greenland or that part of the world or whatever. Now that I've done that, now let's look at things that are better. Let's watch some videos with some puppies, some kitten, some things that make me happy. Let's watch some comedy. Let's watch some rom-com, some stuff that makes you laugh. Let's listen to some music. Let's read some books that are inspirational. Let's be creative. You can choose how to decide what sort of amount of time you're going to give to the news and what sort of amount of time you're going to give to the things that make you feel better about yourself. If you get stuck your head in the news and just the bad stuff, you're going to go down very quickly. I've been there myself. When all the situation happened in Gaza after October the 7th, I was obsessed. I was heartbroken. I couldn't function. And it took me a few months to realize this is happening to me. So it's okay. I still keep updated. I still do whatever I can, but I'm aware that there's only so much that I can do, and that is enough. And I need to remind myself that I have other things to do in my life. And I need to, in order for this to happen, to focus on the good stuff as well. And so organize yourself and tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to check out TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, so that I know what's going on. But after, give yourself an amount of time, maybe 20 minutes, and after that, bag, let's move on to other stuff. You can change your algorithm as well. You can also follow some stuff, some pages that are all about positive stuff, happy stuff, funny stuff, inspirational stuff, things that have to do with the things that you like, that you have interest on. And so when you go on those following stuff as opposed to For You page, now you get to only see those stuff. And that will help you have a better content in your mind that will, in result, trigger better feelings and emotions in your body. You start to feel better about yourself. Okay? Does it help at all? Whatever is happening in the world, we can't change what it is, but we can change how we feel about ourselves. And if you want to be of service to the world, you need to be balanced, healthy, stable. You need to be happy. You need to be able to think clearly so that you can take the actions that you may want to take to change this world whenever you can. But if you're overwhelmed, you won't be able to do anything at all. I hope it helps. Free Martin, thank you for the little heart. I am, it is a bad joke. Person with a question. Thank you for sharing your experience, Didi. Thank you. Kevin, yes, real bad joke. Medisa, sorry, it's okay, it's okay. I am abrasive and offensive at times. No worries. I think we're on the same wavelength eventually. Kevin, courage to make mistakes. Indeed. I have been harassed by a group. It sucks. You are safe here. No one is going to harass you here. I am Medisa. Drinking is so much worse. All sort of things are good or bad to different people. That destroys lives. Someone I'm going to get rid of. I don't even know how to read the name. But just like that. Gone. Forrest, may I ask a question about you? Do you need to ground yourself, to replenish yourself after helping others? I am empathetic and often need time after dealing with others' emotions or problems. So, yes, I need to be aware of my lifestyle. My lifestyle is paramount. My lifestyle, it took me years to build it, but basically I have a life that is around my conditions and my ability to help others. And so basically, if I don't sleep well, if I don't eat well, if I don't chill, if I don't go to the gym, if I don't walk in the park, if I don't have some time with my husband watching some rubbish TV every now and then, I won't be able to function. So I'm putting these things as a part of my schedule, top list. If I don't meditate, all of those things are very, very important. And so basically, it's not that I need to replenish. I'm creating a system that allows me to operate because it is providing me with the mental clarity and energy that I need to do those things. But it's not like I'm overwhelmed and I need to replenish and go back and forth. We need to do better than that. We need to create a system that allows us to navigate through our life and do all the things that we want to do in an easy way. I've managed to create a life for me that is simple, easy, and fun. This is my motto. I don't want anything in my life. It's not simple, easy, and fun. And again, because of my conditions, if I didn't have that life, my life, if I didn't have those systems, my life would be very different. And I wouldn't be able to help people the way that I do. I need to be in a certain state to be able to listen, talk to people, connect with them, and see how I can help them by saying the right thing at the right time. So yes, I hope this answers your question, Forrest. Person with a question: puppies and kittens and baby animals are the most relaxing, wholesome things ever. Yes, yes, yes. I was thinking about it today. We used to have dogs, so we used to have French bulldogs. We used to have 3 of them. We have none of them at the moment. We've been dogless since March last year. But we're okay because we need to have a little break from them as well. We have other things to focus on, me and my husband. We had dogs for 17 years. But every now and then, I still think about dogs, and I still think about my dogs, but I'm also thinking about all the other dogs. I'm thinking about all the videos that I see, and I'm thinking, so my dogs are called Lily, Alfie, and Leon, and I'm really thinking about them often. The pictures comes up on my thing, on my screen all the time, and I love thinking about them. They're still with me. I feel warm when I think about them. But now I don't think just about them. I'm thinking about all the other dogs. I have like thousands of dogs in my mind because I see videos of them every day, and that overwhelms me because I think, the world is full of dogs. The world is full of goodness. This is what we're talking about. It's not just bad stuff. There are a lot of good stuff. There are a lot of doggies, a lot of cats, a lot of animals, a lot of good people who are looking after them. There's a lot of joy and happiness and hope and healing. And so if we can focus our mind on that, we feel better about the world. And the way that I do this is to visualize all those dogs. And I have the same love that I have for my dogs. I have it for all the dogs, all the animals. I am aware of all of them. They're everywhere. It's like an army of angels that are everywhere in the whole world. If you can realize this, now the world is not all doom and gloom. There's love, there's happiness, there's joy, there's goodness. Yeah. Dogs are awesome. And all the animals. Helen O'Neill, I'm sorry you've been harassed, but as far as I see it, no one here means to do it. I don't think there was any harassment here. Was it? Did I miss something? So maybe enjoy and let go. No offense, but don't think about what people might want from you to do or not. Did I harass you, Medusa? I don't think. I just expressed what I felt. Unless I missed it, but if you tell me that you felt harassed, I'm sorry that it happened and that I didn't see it. But I didn't see anything. I think just people express their point of view and that's it. Harassment is a whole different thing, isn't it? I am Medusa. I do too, in my experience. Person with a question. I am Medusa. Eating bud will kill away before a cigarette will. So you're really pushing the cigarette. Okay, you know what? Smoke is fine. It's no problem at all. Absolutely. But everyone is different. I see. Oh, Mirza, really, I am Mirza. I understand the passion for health. However, your own health should be your priority for monitoring. I'm here to talk about mental and emotional health. And so a part of my job is to deal with addiction. It's part of my profession. And so a lot of people who have problems, who are addicted to food, alcohol, drugs, who are addicted to whatever, it's part of my job to address it. And this is why I'm having that conversation. It's absolutely on point with the vibe of that live stream. I hope you understand. It's not personal. I am Mirza. Yes. Olaf, how big? I am Mirza. So many bad habits are there. Yes. But it's not just about habits, it's more about finding out what works for us. Anything can become a problem. Absolutely. So we agree. Kevin, yes, even too much water. Yes. Too much oxygen, too much air. Too much water, absolutely. There's a very important phrase in chemistry, and it goes like this: the dose makes the poison. So it's never the thing, it's the dose, depending on the host of the dose. So what it means is that everything has some traces of poison in them, but if it's just a little bit, it's fine. And anything that is good, if you have too much of it, becomes also toxic, such as water or oxygen. Helen O'Neill, love your motto, Didi. Thank you. I am Medusa. I haven't had a vigorous conversation in so long. Thank you. It's refreshing. Thank you so much, I am Medusa. I'm glad you appreciate. Person with a question. That's so wholesome. Love, hope, positivity is expensive. Just focus on what brings joy during difficult days. Yes, do your best. Right? Not everyone can do it easily, but it's a skill that we can learn to develop. Even if we are really living in a dark place, it's something that we can learn over time. For those of us for whom it's easy, then just do it. Just remind yourself. Forrest Berger, yes, let's all find the good in ourselves and in the world, especially with all the negative shoved at us through TV, news, and social media. Yes, yes. And we need to realize that the negative exists as part of the propaganda, right? A lot of things are there to really keep us in that state and manipulate us emotionally. I am Medusa. Please continue. I'm loving this. Fantastic. Thank you. That was last comment. You are a gift to them. Okay. Thank you, if that comment is addressed to me. Pumpkin Puff, I will give my pups some extra love for your pups that crossed the rainbow bridge. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm just going to have a cup of tea. I'm very, very dry. I discovered a new series on Netflix. I started last night called Heavenly Ever After. It's a South Korean drama series, and it's about the story of someone who goes to heaven and what she goes through. And it's actually, I find it very good. It's a bit cheesy at times, a little bit soapy, but all in all, I find it very, very refreshing and clever the way it's done. And there's a sequence with doggies who crosses the rainbow bridge to heaven. So that was quite nice for me to watch. I will recommend this. It's called Heavenly Ever After on Netflix. Korean. Prince Charming. I can't be functional and do the task I want to do. Horrible at prioritization. I meditate and do a little bit of yoga and little work and not the important work what I want to do. Okay? So we can talk about this if you want. We're coming to the end of the thread though. I mean, the end of the live because it's 2 minutes to 8. So I'm happy to stay 5 minutes more. But just so you know, I'm here every week, twice a week. Every Wednesdays, every Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. UK time. And so if I don't get to fully cover your topic, come back next week and we can continue our conversation then. Okay? So let me try to understand. You can't be functional. Let's talk about this. Tell me more about yourself. Do you have any condition? Do you feel that you are overwhelmed with stress? Do you feel that you are burnt out? Do you have depression, anxiety? Do you believe that you may be on the spectrum of ADHD? Give me something, please, and we can start to build something on it within a few minutes, if you want. Forrest, what type of tea are you drinking? I'm having a cup of coffee currently myself. This is an Earl Grey tea. Earl Grey tea, so very, very common, classic English tea. Earl Grey. I always loved Earl Grey. I don't drink coffee at the moment anymore because I'm having a lot of problems with my blood pressure. And so, but I'm enjoying the tea. I drink all sorts of teas. I also have some, I drink ginger tea, I drink some green tea, some matcha tea, some Bearder's tea, English tea, all sort of tea. I like tea. Tea is awesome. Um, yeah, but this one specifically in that cup is Earl Grey. Person with a question, Pumpkin Puff. I'm so jealous. I love dogs too, but don't have any. Maybe someday I will be able to care for one. Yeah. With BPD, it's very important to know where you are. It will help you, but also you need to understand the psychology of dogs. Because with BPD, we can't take things personally from dogs. We can be horrible to dogs as well if we are into this mental space. So it's important to have this sorted before we have dogs. Yeah. Judith, I just pronounce Judith R. Eyes. I'm going to say Judith. I appreciate you and your good counsel. Many blessings to you. Thank you, Judith. Pumpkin Puff. Oh yeah, I need a new show to watch. I'll check it out. Thank you. Yes, do. It's cool. I like it. Pumpkin Puff. I hope you have a great evening, Didi. I feel much better after speaking with you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you do. I will keep your words close to me and remember to be kind to myself. Yes, please. Dante, Japan. What exactly is an RTT therapist? Thanks. RTT stands for Rapid Transformational Therapy. It's what I do. It's a system that utilizes hypnosis, regression, and belief reframing at the subconscious level. So basically, I address any mental and emotional problems from the subconscious mind. Most of our problems are in our body, in our nervous system, in our subconscious mind, not here. This is why talking therapy don't make much difference. But if you use any kind of somatic healing protocols, such as RTT, now we're going to, with the RTT, what we do, we reframe the narrative of everything. So we have belief, and those are the reasons as to why we suffer from anything at all. Anxiety, depression, addiction, self-sabotage, low self-esteem, overthinking, anger, everything is down to the belief that we have about ourselves and people and how we should react to the world, depending on our sense of self. And so with RTT, we go back into the memories of your past, and my job is to change the meaning of those episodes from the past so that you don't see yourself as such, so that your subconscious mind doesn't need to produce anxiety or anger or depression anymore. Because now you can deal with things with your intelligence. You don't need to have those emotions to look after you anymore, to protect you anymore. So this is what I do. Dante, P.S. I know I can just Google, but I feel like people explain much better. I'm glad you asked, and I can talk about it more if you want. If you want to give me a specific case, and I can explain to you how I would use RTT for that. It's very, very powerful. I am Medusa. Me, I will challenge what you think you know. In that, you either stand your ground with facts or fall on your own opinions and speculations. You did awesome, sir. Okay. Applauding hand emoji. Thank you. Thank you for appreciating what I said so far. Person with a question. I have CPTSD, Didi. Just my apartment is not pet friendly. Okay, so in that case, there are other things. Now, we need to do with what we have. And so there's always something we can do. So you may not be able to have just now your zoo, your park full of dogs, but you can do something that can make you still feel better about yourself. It's about you finding out what you can do and how you can do this. And yeah. But I understand that it's not easy for people to have pets. First, we need to be in a place that allows them, and also we need to have the time to look after them, and also we need to have enough money to look after them. They can be quite expensive if they need some medical help. So we need to think about all those things beforehand. Indeed. Kevin, hope to see you Friday. Kevin, okay, yes, see you Friday. Thank you, Kevin. Person with a question. I want to wish you a lovely day and thank you for all the insight and wisdom today. Thank you so much, person with a question. Morocco, nice energy. I feel it. Thank you so much. Morocco, Mr. OCD, not Morocco, Mr. OCD. We can talk about OCD next time if you want. Dante, Oh, cool. I very much appreciate your work and people such yourself. Continue doing what you're doing. I will. Thank you. Prince Charming, are you self-realized and how far are you in the embodiment journey? So I don't believe in self-realization as in a destination. For me, self-realization is a journey. Is the idea that I'm into this existence, I exist. I'm here in this realm of existence because I need to explore who I am as a person. And so just the awareness of that is self-realization. It's the whole journey, everything that we're going to go through, this, regardless of how we started in our life. It's all a process of self-realization. But I don't believe that it's a specific state. Did you tick all the boxes? Do you have all the badges, the Medal of Honors to say? I don't believe in that. Because there's no where to go. There's only the journey for us to experience. I hope it makes sense. And so in that sense, I've been on that journey for a little while now. To be honest with you, I've been here, like all of us, I've been on that journey all my life. Maybe I had an awareness of it for a few years now. So that's the difference. Yeah, I'm in a good place spiritually and psychologically and emotionally. Helen O'Neill, thank you very much for your work and your live stream. I was suffering really bad today with negative thoughts spiraling, and it helped me to think about something else. Fantastic, thank you so much. I'm glad that it helped. I am Medusa. Some happy, loving faces emojis. Crowberry Black, thank you, Dee. Glad I made it. Fantastic. Dante Japan, will you be making educational videos? I love learning. Yes, I do. I do it already. So do check out on my page. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't yet. I also exist on TikTok. But for me, YouTube is my most important project. I really want to push my YouTube channel more this year. And so every week I put a long form content, and there are educational videos. The last one that I put on Wednesday is called What are subconscious projections and how do they impact your life? And on the thumbnail, you see me, and it says, people are mirrors. We all project. So it's about projection. It's about subconscious emotional projections. It explains why we dislike some people, why we get annoyed, triggered, why we find people cringy, because we're projecting our own repressed shame and fears. So this is a very important aspect of psychology. If we can get this, everything is much easier in terms of relationships with people, understanding self also, self and others. And so check it out and let me know how you feel about it. I do spend a lot of time creating this long form video, and so I would appreciate if you could visit them and let me know in the comment section if you find it interesting, or even if you have any things that you would like me to talk about in my future videos. I always need some more ideas, things to talk about. So every day I put 3 short videos, and every week I put 1 long form video, and every week I come twice live streams on YouTube. Okay, let me read the last comment and then I'm going to go. I think it's time for me to go. Dante, okay, cool. Already subscribed. Fantastic, thank you. I don't use TikTok. It's okay, YouTube is good enough. So we'll focus on your channel. Thank you so much. Caravaggio, hello sir, I'm new here. May I ask if you study martial arts? Thanks. I used to do a lot of martial arts and combat sport. I don't do this anymore, or not at the moment, but it was a very important part of my life, indeed. Dante, I love taking notes and watching educational videos about almost anything, really. Fantastic. Good on you. Good on you. Let's hope that I can contribute to your personal growth in the future. Kahir Onasi, I was emotionally neglected as a child. I still want to gaslight myself and tell myself they were not that bad, since they were immigrants, and I do believe they tried their best. I don't want to blame. I really want to talk about this because I can really relate to that, but I've got to go now. I normally stop at 8 o'clock, and so Kair, if you could subscribe to my channel and come back next week, I would love to talk about it. Right? Again, I'm here every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. And all the live streams that I do are to be found on my channel the day or the following days after once YouTube has fully uploaded them. And so please come back to me and remind me of a conversation then, so we can talk about it. I would love to talk about it. It's a really important issue to me, and I would love to talk about it. Person with a question, guys, every Wednesdays and Fridays, yes, Didi is on live stream in case you don't get your question addressed. Thank you so much. Slavery Shadow, are you from Japan? No, I'm not. Thank you for our stream today. Thank you for from Dante. Okay, here, when is it blame versus understanding yourself? I'll talk about it next time if you don't mind, please. Okay, thank you. Already subbed. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I am Medusa. The betrayal is like a sledgehammer to the gut. Guys, I'm going to go now. Love you all. Thank you for your intervention. I'll see you sometime next week. I wish you a great weekend. And remember to be kind to others if you can. And if you can't, at least be kind to yourself. Right? Pumpkin Puff and everyone else. Okay, bye for now. Bye-bye.